Tracy and I get asked all the time, you guys, what can be done to combat dental insurance reimbursement rates? And the answer might not be what you want to hear, but it's the truth. And we have that 5-step process, and we begin our podcast right there.
Welcome, all you wonderful dental podcast listeners, to the My Practice, My Business Dental Podcast Show, where we help dentists profit and thrive with excerpts from the clinical business of dentistry training here at My Practice, My Business. We'll be addressing and answering questions with current trends dentists and their teams face each and every day in their pursuit of this wonderful career we call dentistry. And now, the host of our show, the clinical director at My Practice, My Business, Dr. Rob Thorup.
There's a saying that I absolutely love. I don't even know who started it. I came across it, about a year or two ago. And it goes like this: never worry about who will be offended if you speak the truth. Worry about who will be misled, deceived, and destroyed if you don't. And that's been a big mantra of ours at My Practice, My Business, because we're tired of the misinformation that's out there. And if you've listened to any of my podcasts, I don't even need to go into detail on that. You've been through our training. You know exactly how we cover that. But I want all of you to know that there's really, from what we've seen in the industry throughout the years, and to maintain some degree of sanity, there is, when you're doing battle with insurance plans, there's really only 5 areas that we have truly uncovered to do it. And I'm not going to get into, well, you should drop all your dental insurance plans, because welcome to, Louisiana, Nevada, Utah, Idaho, Washington. Yeah, try dropping your insurance plans, all of them, and watch what happens. Now, in certain segments of the country, you can get away with it. But in the state of Utah, that's been tried and attempted several times, and every time practices do that, they're in a world of hurt and they go bankrupt. Why? Because the American consumer they want a deal. They want insurance. They've got to have insurance, and they got to have that perception of having an insurance plan. We'll get into that in a minute. But I want all of you to know that there's 5 things that we focus on. And I'll tell you the 5, and then we're going to go into detail. Number one, sorry, I'm still suffering from lecturing, giving too many presentations and trainings, and my vocal cords have had it. So if you hear me drop off a little bit and have to clear my voice, you'll know that I'm almost recovered, but not quite. First one's fee negotiations. That's a big deal. And we find a lot of practices don't do it on a regular basis, and that's what our office manager, front office training is all about. Or they'll have people, I'm getting ahead of myself, they'll hire people to do it. You don't need to do that. Second one is in-house plans, and that's a big deal. And that's the big disruptor that we can be competitive with, and I'll get into that in a minute. And then the third one, drop your worst plans. Send a message to those companies on your worst plans and say, you know what, we're not taking your crap. And that helps out a ton, too. The fourth one is, how about change the laws within your state association? Let me say that again. Change the laws within your state and have your dental association have them get off their butts and actually do something that actually brings increase in net revenue and puts butts in chairs. How about that? What a concept. They actually should be doing things for you, but on the same token, what are you doing for them? Are you helping them out? It's like the UDA. I mean, I get ticked at the UDA and the ADA all the time for some of the stupid things they do. But you know what? If you're going to gripe and complain about the association, what are you doing to help them? You give them a call, say, hey, look, let me help. But then you got the hierarchy of the association, the president, president-elect, elected president, president, vice president, presidential, whatever, all these people with all these titles. And I'm going to tell you right now, and I'll call them out right now, people with titles. In fact, let me just be very, very clear. The executive with the UDA and the AdPac person have been very helpful with the stuff that we've been doing as of late. And I appreciate them. But what I find really interesting is the president of the Utah Dental Association and all the hierarchy there. It's like, have any of them reached out to Tracy and I said, hey, thanks for all your hard work, and what can we do to help? Not one phone call, crickets. But I'm not going to sit back and wait for them to get off their pedestals of wanting the commensurate announcement without the achievement of, look at me, I'm the president of the association. No, I'm sorry. The egos need to drop. We don't have time. We don't have time to sit back and allow the insurance companies to run all over us, okay? That's what they're doing. So get together with your executive in your association, because they do work hard for you. And the fifth one is the training that we have here at My Practice, My Business. Because we are that company. We are the specialists in insurance contracts and state laws, and we work hard to help all the docs here in the United States and their dental teams. One thing that's fun with the team members who have been coming through our training, it's like when I look at them, I say to you, hey, look, team members, if I say colleague, if I say my colleagues are here, what does that mean? And they're like, well, the doctors are here. No. All of you are my colleagues. All of you. I don't care if you're like one day old as a dental assistant or a receptionist, all the way along the food chain. We're all colleagues, and we're all battling this together. So I want that to resonate and be very clear. I hope we have great front office and office team members listening to these podcasts, and that's how I feel. It's the way I look at it. Well, let's talk about number one. Let's talk about fee negotiations. There are several companies who do this, fee negotiations. And unfortunately, some of them have been banned by the insurance companies. The insurance companies won't even talk to them, but they won't tell you that. They won't tell you that the insurance companies have banned them because they've been such asshats in dealing with the insurance companies. I mean, we get pretty aggressive, Tracy and I do, in our teams with the insurance companies. But you know what? We treat them with respect because they're trying to make a living too, right? I know it's hard for us to want to look at it that way, but it's true. And most of these, I'm going to say most. Yeah, I'm going to say most. Most of them, they overpromise and underdeliver. What do I mean by that? They sit there and say, we can do fee negotiations and get your fees way up there, and you can just pay us $5,000 to $10,000, and then we'll do that for you, on your insurance plan. Yeah, my gosh. What? And they get like $1 here, $4 here, $5 there. Yeah, okay. So as we've cruised through this life, we found one company that does this better than anybody else. And we've actually put them to the test. In fact, in our office manager front office training, we teach those members, Doc, we teach your front office how to do these negotiations. We teach them how to do it. But there are other companies out there that they can get really good negotiations too, and they can do it very easily, and they can do it as a group, and we can bind together when we do that. And I'm talking about the dental cooperative. The dental cooperative was started in the state of Utah, and now they got members nationwide. And they do a great job, as do we. And so we compliment them, and they compliment us, and we recommend them. That's a company that we recommend. Geez, for the big whopping $275 a month for that company, they do it, and they do it the right way. And so we can endorse them at this time 100%. But we also teach your team members how to get the plans that they can't get, and we teach your team members how to do this, and you should be doing it every 2 years. But let me just share this with you. When you fee negotiate, depending on where you're at, if you're already doing it, the best you can do, the best it can bring to your practice is between about a 1% to 4% increase in gross revenue. Not net increase, but gross increase, okay? So it's like it's a feel-good increase, but not the impact that produces net profit margins at a rate that you need. But it's a step. So remember, PPO plans give us like a 40 to 50%, 57% hit from our fee-for-service fees, right? And it's like, every little bit. See, it's like when we're talking about this 5-step process, each step needs to be done. You can't just do one, but you need to do all of them because they help that course correction happen. So even if it's a 1 to 4 degree course correction, at least it's 1 to 4 degrees, okay, of course correction. So, but a lot of emphasis is placed on this tactic of fee negotiations, but the outcome isn't as big as, a lot of people make it sound. So that's what I want to emphasize right there. The second one, and this is one that's gaining a lot of popularity, is in-house plans. And back in the day, the American Dental Association came out with the term direct reimbursement. We need to do direct reimbursement, and that's a good way to combat the insurance companies. And the ADA was actually correct, but it was just it was how they were doing it. It was how they were implementing it. It wasn't turnkey. And so I'm like, if it's not fast, simple, easy, I just don't want to do it. I don't want an in-house plan where my team is having to chase the money, chase the credit cards that don't go through, chase everything. That's not what I want. If there's an in-house plan, those turnkey, and the best plan out there, I know the ADA is like endorse some company. I know there's a couple of companies out there, but the best company we've found is Illumitrack. Illumitrack, if y'all knew what we knew, I just let me say this, that there are some plans out there that the insurance companies will try to go after you, saying that you're acting like an insurance company, an insurance plan. They'll turn you into the state insurance commissioner. We've actually had that happen to a couple of our clients, and some of the companies, all the companies that they have been with, they don't defend them, and they've gotten tagged with big fines. Not Illumitrack. Illumitrack sets you up correctly, so you're not functioning like an insurance company. They set it up perfectly, and then, of course, they have a big legal team behind them that if any, insurance carrier tries to come after you, oh, no, they'll go after them. They know what they're doing. We've done a lot of research with these guys. We like them. So, yeah, that's the best one we've seen out there. And this is really important because as this podcast is coming out, people are renewing their insurances right now. It's that time of the year. So we train on the types of letters and texts, and it's a marketing drip campaign that goes out to your patients. And the more of us that do this, the more we can displace patients and be competitive and get them off insurance plans and put them on our own in-house plan. Because remember, the consumer wants to belong to something because that's what they feel. Now, it's like, but Rob, I have fee-for-service patients that we just give a 5% cash discount to, and they're happy with us. I get that, I understand. But remember, you also have to put your business hat on, and you're dealing with the psychology of the average consumer, and they want to have some sort of insurance. They want to have some plan to belong to. It's just a fact, and we have to deal with it. So anyway, but we need to promote these, especially during the insurance renewal time. And you also got to have a compelling story of the cost savings for the patient/consumer. That's important when you do these. And like I say, this was started originally, in my opinion, this was started by the American Dental Association years ago under DR, direct reimbursement. They just didn't have it right. So what happened is companies come in, they do a little 3, 4, 5 degree course correction, bam, then they got it. So that's a powerful thing now that we're seeing. It's working. It's working. But again, here we go. The net increase to practice revenue with these types of plans right now is currently between like 1% to 6%, depending on the size of your practice and the number of patients that you have enrolled. But again, it's a tool. It's a tool that we can use to combat these PPO plans. So that's number 2. Number 3, drop your lowest reimbursed plan. You have to know your direct operating cost per hour, though, to make that decision on who to drop, because you want to be careful who you drop. Look at your top 20, 30 procedures and see if you want to drop them. See if they're as bad as we make them out to be, because sometimes they're not. But what if we dropped them? It's like this is any coordinated effort to start listing or labeling the worst plans. You're starting to come under collusion and antitrust, so we got to be careful there. But we can state clearly, look at all the plans you're taking, and maybe you should trim off the bottom feeders, okay? Because that definitely sends a clear message. So I'm not going to tell you which ones those might be, but it certainly doesn't hurt to look at that. And now having said that, our training at My Practice, My Business, we hesitate dropping any plans because we are profitable on the bottom feeders. And that's a whole nother story we'll talk about in a second. But it does help. The fourth one is change laws. What a concept. Create a group who relentlessly lobbies and works with your association. Establish that relationship that you need with a state legislature. We just actually made another contact, someone we hope to be using here, with a group that just went through training. One of the docs, the neighbor, is a political leader in the state of Utah. So those are the kinds of connections you need. Those are the kind of people you need to deal with. When you strike that relationship, and dare I say it, donate to their campaigns, you got their ears. Welcome to politics. That's just how it works, okay? So we're trying desperately to get our House Bill 359, that's now the new Utah dental law. We're working hard, people, to try and get it in your associations, but we need your help. Your associations need to know about our law. In fact, talking to our executive director here in the state of Utah, it's like getting the associations to listen to another executive director is like pulling impacted third molars, okay? It's tough. It's tough because everybody has their own agendas and things that they want to be doing. So if you have contacts there, if you can help us help you, get us in touch with your association director, not the president of your association. I just don't want those people in those positions, like the president of the state association. I'm sorry. They don't, how do I say this without being extremely honest? They don't help. Are they there? Are they there just to have a title, to hang on their wall, to have a plaque? I don't know. This is what I'm curious about, because Tracy and I are doers. We work hard, we change things, we do things to benefit people, and that's our thought leadership. So I'm going to ask this $1 million question. What is your leadership in your state association doing to truly benefit you, all of you that are paying your dues? That's the question to ask yourself. And don't stop paying your dues. Just hold their feet to the frickin' fire. That's what you need to be doing. So change the laws. So what did we change here in Utah? Obviously, network leasing controls, which is what is what the UDA brought to our bill, and then we brought down coding and bundling and EOB language. See what happens when you actually kind of try to work as a team, and they're reluctant from time to time, but you know what? Just keep plussing it. Keep trying to work with your association. Get them to work with you. But here's the interesting thing about the law that we passed. It actually will bring with our law, not a gross income, which the other components did, what I was talking about, but our law actually brings a 1% to 5% net practice revenue. You see, it's the things that people have been writing off all the time already. So it's cash that they haven't seen ever. So now they're able to increase net revenue, not just gross revenue. And that's the difference. So that's step 4. Then we got step 5. And dare I tout our company. My Practice, My Business. This is what our training is all about. Our guaranteed training is all about. Our training is easy to implement, and I know that many of you out there listening, the first thing you hear when I say that our training will increase net revenue by 17 to 32% in any given practice on any given day, you guys look at that and go, oh, that's not possible. It's just, you can't do that. Run from that kind of talk. Run. It can't possibly happen. It happens every day. All you have to do is listen to our testimonials, call our people that have gone through training. They'll tell you. They'll tell you that the people that implement about 30 to 40% of our training, yeah, those are the people that see about 17% increase in net revenue. And then the people that implement nearly 100%, yeah, they're seeing the 32% plus increase in net revenue. You see, we're not a consulting company that makes you run to our marching orders. We teach you correct principles and truths in business and in insurance contracts and state laws. We teach you these truths, and then you govern yourself. You implement how much and how fast you want. We're here for you. We're not that type of consulting company that if you don't do what we tell you to do, we're just not going to train you, or you're not doing it, so we're going to like keep pounding at you until you do everything we tell you to do. No. Our training is so powerful that I love all you docs, because you look at it and you go, oh my gosh, this makes sense. This is not the type of training I thought that we were going to receive. It's so fun when we see people come through the training for 3 days. The day one, the arms are folded. They're looking at you while looking at Tracy and I. And we joke about it, just so all of you know that have been through our training, they're listening. And those of you who want to go through our training and you just haven't pulled that trigger yet, I want you to know that we watch you on day one. And you're like the walls are up, the shields are up, the force fields are up. And then in the morning and then by the afternoon, the shields come down, the arms become unfolded, and the chair slumps, and you go, oh my gosh, I wish I would have known this information how many years ago? And you're like, it's just fun for us to watch. And then on day two, it's like you go from skeptic to student of learning. And then by second day in the afternoon, you're day one, it's like, I don't think we can implement this. And day two, it's like, how can we not implement this? And then on day three, it's, we are implementing this training. And then you guys, in our training, we have reflections at the end of the training. And it is so amazing to watch dental teams come together with business knowledge, not fluff, not stupid protocols of cram the schedule, with actual true business knowledge that come together. And they have that reflection, and we watch you guys. It's so fun. We don't participate in that. They are now enabled. They're now forming and performing in team development, and it's so fun to watch them. I love every one of these teams that we train. You guys are amazing. Anyway, but that 17 to 32% of net increase happens all the time. I want all of you to know that battling insurance companies isn't easy. But when you have truth and knowledge and how to implement things that nobody else teaches, it becomes profitable. And our clients will test that. But let me tell you, there's 3 limiting factors that negatively affect every practice with profitability. And if you don't run with all 5 of these to combat insurance companies that I just mentioned, those 5 points, the 5 points of fee negotiations, in-house plans, dropping the worst plans, changing the laws in your state. We also need to change it on a federal level. That's so important. And our training at My Practice, My Business. If you don't do all 5 of those, you're missing. You're missing, especially point 5. You're missing out on the profit margins that you deserve. You deserve those docs and team members. Stop allowing PPO plans and stop allowing what I'm going to talk about here to control what your capabilities are in your practice. So what are the 3 limiting factors that negatively affect profitability in every dental practice? What are they? Their philosophies is number 1. Philosophies. But Rob, I have a philosophy of giving it away all day, every day, each day. A philosophy. These philosophies, you guys, they're not grounded in business principles. They're not grounded in MBA programs for most of you. Do you see the problem? That's a problem. Okay? So I want all of you to know that drop your philosophies. Learn the business principles that we teach, or learn them from somewhere. The second one that's the killer is status quo. Status quo is what team members are comfortable with, and Doc, you're comfortable with. You're going to need to break out of your status quo. Your status quo that's not founded in business principles, and the status quo that controls every dental practice that I've seen. You just need to break it. Break the status quo. learn business principles. Learn how to get out of your shell. And the third one is the Yanindi syndrome. That is correct. The Yanindi syndrome affects every team member, including you, Doc, and it's an acronym, the Yanindi, Y-N-I-N-D-I syndrome. The, no, I'm not doing it. Okay? We see that all the time. These three limiting factors are the kiss of death, and what are they costing you? What are they costing you in your practice? And you might not think it's a big deal, but wait till you get closer to retirement age and you don't have that $5 to $7 million nut egg sitting there and 5 to 7 sources of income to provide for your retirement. And then you're wondering why you have to work till you're age 80. Okay. What's the solution? Training. Training is the solution. And getting actively involved in your journey in this great arena that we call dentistry. Hopefully it'll stay great. A lot of pressures on us right now. A lot of things are changing. But it's up to us to keep dentistry great so that we can provide wonderful oral health care to those that we serve, not compromised oral health care due to third-party payers. Thanks for being with us today. We hope to see you soon.
Thank you for being with us today. To learn more about our guaranteed, no-risk clinical business of dentistry training that is changing dental practices for the better, just go to our website, mypracticemybusiness.com, and surf our pages for additional information about our company. When you're ready, give us a call and get scheduled for the best training you'll ever experience. Those are the words of our clients, not us. Our mission statement is simple. We increase the net revenue of dental practices with our key methods, tools, and training utilizing everyday need-based dentistry. We believe that there's never been a more important time than now for dentists to know what we know, and that is 1, how to compete with retail America, 2, how to be profitable with dental procedures, especially those performed on patients with dental insurance plans, 3, how to place oral health care at the forefront of patients' discretionary spending, and 4, how to ethically, legally, and morally be paid fairly for the services you provide. All of us here at My Practice, My Business know exactly how to help you implement each of those talking points and more with our key methods, knowledge, and training. Our clients' testimonies say it all. If you enjoy our podcast, please leave us a 5-star review. Thank you for listening, and we hope to see you soon at the My Practice, My Business training facility located in the Salt Lake City, Utah area. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call us. Thank you again and have a fantastic day.